So for those who didn't watch the fight, I'm here doing this video live real time, so the bell just rung. It is 8:57 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, July the 12th, 2025. Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda is up next, and the venue's filling out pretty nicely. I want to know what the real number is for that tennis arena they're using for this card headlined by Edgar Berlanga, Hamzah Sheeraz, Shakur Stevenson, William Zepeda, Alberto Puello, and Matias just went 12 rounds in their WBC 140-pound title fight. Matias coming off of a win in his last fight. Who did he fight again? Gabriel Gonzalez Venezuela, Roberto Ramirez, and then before that he had that upset loss to Liam Para, where people thought that Sabril was going to take Para's head off. By the way, waiting to hear the cards. And I'm going to tell you, Alberto was one of them type of fighters where he just finds a way to win. Now, if you look at his resume here, he's not a big puncher, but he will fight to the pace of the fight. Now, I want you to see this cut on Sabril Matias' face. I'll put on his bling. This was the best Sabril Matias has looked in some time. And I'm talking about he was relentless with his pressure, but later on in the fight, he started slowing down. And if you look at Alberto Puello, he didn't really take any damage from Matias. If you look at his face, he just kept punching. I want to see those punch stats, because no matter what Sabril Matias was doing, and he had the more meaningful, more like hurtful looking shots than Alberto. But I think that he did enough. I'm pretty sure, in my opinion, you never know, because David Morrell won when I don't think he should have won in the first fight on the main card over Imam Chatayev. And of course, there's some people that have some issues with and call it controversial that Katie Taylor beat Amanda Serrano last night. I had Katie Taylor winning. I had Shadeja Green losing. I'm sorry, I'm trying to listen to the background as well. I had Shadeja Green losing to Savannah Marshall. And Ramla Ali also got a gift. So it's been a weekend where cards have been funky.
And there's the man that brought it to us. His Excellency Turki al-Sheikh. I mean, what fights he's putting together. I mean, incredible.
So,
I see Dalton Smith in the ring. He's going to try.
Oh, they're getting Dalton Smith in the ring. Dalton Smith is the mandatory. He's undefeated. And what's taking them so long to read these cards? That's scary. So here's the 140-pound division. Richardson Hitchens just beat George Kambosos. Him and Devin Haney are in the building tonight, jawing off at each other. In fact, I think you can see it on here, on this page. Devin Haney is moving up to 147, by the way. He's at 147. It's official that he's fighting Brian Norman in November on the undercard, a co-feature of Anthony Yard and David Benavidez. Look, they're still taking their time reading these cards. I mean, getting these scorecards together. That's scary if they're doing that. Like, what's going on? That screams shenanigans. Look how long it's been. So, Teofimo Lopez, we don't know what he's doing. He's so unreliable. Gary Antoine Russell is supposed to be fighting Andy Hirooka on Tank versus Roach. Listen in.
Rounds of boxing. We go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Frank Lombardi scores it 114 to 114, even a draw. And both judges, Ron McNair and Tony Paolillo, are in agreement. They both scored the same, 115 to 113.
That's a perfect score.
For your winner by majority decision. And new WBC
gave it to him. Here's the thing. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Because he might have banked enough rounds, and he was. It's one of those type of fights where he was constantly relentless. And I would be okay with a rematch because it wasn't a boring fight. It was exciting. I think that Alberto pulled it off, in my opinion, especially, he kept consistent throughout the fight. Subriel Matias, he kept consistent too, but, I just think that Puello did enough to close out the fight. Let's see what they're talking about on social media, and let's see who they think have won. And by the way, I was writing Subriel Matias off. I was one of those people. So, Puerto Ricans, Amanda Serrano, Subriel Matias is bringing it back. Hopefully Edgar Berlanga don't shit the bed. So let's see what people are saying. Let's go to the latest. So remember, 2 times, 115, 113, and then one judge had it a draw. So let's see. Matias wins. Congrats, Matias. Matias applied pressure, but Puello. Okay. I mean, this is going to be polarizing. Once again, I rarely say this. This is a fight where I have no issue on which way it went. Seems as though people, either way it was a close fight. We're waiting for the post-fight interview.
Congratulations, Subriel. You're now a 2-time champion. People wrote you off after the loss to Liam Paro. How did you do it?
A lot of close fights this weekend.
Realmente contento con cada uno de los fanáticos que están presentes y están viendo esta hazaña. Cuando yo perdí en el 2024, muchos se rieron de mi derrota y yo les prometí que volví otra vez a serme campeón mundial y hoy les cumplo.
I'm very happy with everyone that came out and see us, everyone that came out and supported me. And when I lost in 2024, a lot of people laughed about me, but I told them I would come back and I would be another world champion once again. And here it is.
Subriel, you never stopped going forward in this fight. You suffered a bad cut over your left eye. We see it now, but that pressure won over the judges in a close fight. First decision win of your career. What do you want to do next?
Realmente Puello goza de toda mi admiración. Él es un gran peleador y como único yo podía tener pelea con él era haciendo esta pelea. ¿Qué voy ahora? Desconozco. Lo que diga el CMB, lo que diga mi promotor y lo que quiera el público.
Puello is a great champion. Puello is a great champion, and without him, this fight could not have been possible.
And then we have Dalton Smith right behind us. He is the mandatory for your WBC title. I just spoke to Turki Al-Sheikh, and he said he's looking to make that fight November 22nd in Riyadh, Night of the Champions. How does that sound to you?
¿Te parece una pelea con él?
Mira, tengo de frente a mi próxima víctima. Tremendo peleador.
Fuck Puello.
Tengo algo que él quiere.
No, Frank. You will fight him in November card for the world title.
You want excited fighter. I'm here.
Did you see that? Subriel was trying to... Hold on, we're going to talk about this.
And just like that, the next fight has been made, Sergio. What do you think? Dalton Smith and Subriel Matias.
Oh, man, I mean, what that man wants, that man gets. And look, another fantastic matchup here. The boogeyman, the puncher against Dalton Smith. Smith is another mini Liam Paro type. This man from the UK has great legs, great combination punching, and a great name, Dalton Smith. He sounds like an actor, a superstar already.
That is.
So let me say this. Turki was in the ring. Dalton Smith was in the ring. At one point in time, Turki was like aggressively motioning for Dalton Smith to come in the ring, like, yo, get in here. And during Subriel Matias' post-fight interview, it seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, he's about to start talking some, go back, go talk to my team, then we're going to come up with an opponent. And then Turki was like, no, friend. He called Dalton Smith over and said, and pointed to him and said, told Matias, you fighting him. And then just like that, November 22nd, he said, no, it's done. I'm not trying to hear nothing. That's crazy. The money he must be throwing around. I mean, listen, I'm glad that we're getting the fight people want. Let me tell you, here's the thing. Let me back up a little bit. What I'm looking at here is it looks like the overwhelming majority had it the way I had it. Now, and everyone's entitled to their opinions. You know what I can't stand is when people see things different ways, especially, let's just say us boxing fans. I can say, hey, fighter A won. You can say fighter B won. We both knew it was a close fight and controversial, but then you start motherfucking coming at me and disrespecting me. Oh, you don't know shit. You ain't never know shit. You know how much abuse you got to take to be on YouTube with you fucking degenerate boxing fans? All I'm saying is this. I had Alberto winning. That's my opinion. And it's looking like a lot of people had him winning. But it was a close fight. I don't have any sand. I was going to say in my vagina, but I don't have a vagina. But anyway, I don't have any sand in my minge. So I'm just like, okay, I'm cool with Subriel winning because I can see how different judges look at different things. You have, I used to use this way to explain it before. You have different judges, right? You have one judge that'd be like, damn, yeah, Shakur Stevenson is the man. I like the sweet science. Yeah, he only threw 5 punches in the round, but he landed 1. But as you can see, his opponent threw 30 and only landed 4. But still, Stevenson was just so elusive. And you got another judge that'd be like, yo, why is they in there motherfucking bullshitting around? Go get him. Chase him down. I want to see your fight. I want blood to spill. You kind of get what I'm saying? And then you'll have a neutral judge. It'll be like, all right, you know what? I can see how he was trying to steal rounds. But I've been watching boxing too long. I know that fighter B has the more cleaner, effective punching, and he's the ring general. Even though that pressure from Subriel looked good, you kind of get where I'm going. Judges look at things differently. So Subriel, he kept up the game plan. Yeah, he started to slow down, but his punches were more dynamic and that constant, relentless pressure. Now, what I'm waiting for in the broadcast is for them to show the graphic of the punch stats because I want to see how many punches the fighter's thrown before I end this video. And as you can see, boom, Dalton Smith is next. Let me see what Dalton Smith is. I like Dalton Smith. I do admit, and I'm not going to count him out against Subriel. 18-0 with 13 KOs, 28 years old, a bit unproved. You know, there's nothing on there, to be very honest. Ain't nothing of note on the resume. So this is a huge step up in class here. One thing you can say, he has been active. This is pretty active. So, you know, he's going to be coming in there in his prime. And they still haven't showed the punch stats yet. By the way, awesome card. I didn't get the chance to see the Japanese prospect fight, but to me, the main portion of the pay-per-view started with David Morrell getting a gift over a fighter who failed a PED test back in April of 2024. But we just found out about it this week, Aman Chadayev. But I think that he won, and Morrell got, you know, a decision. And in this fight, you know, it was exciting to the end. And Puello, if you look at his career, that's who he's been. You know, he's been a guy that just squeaks through the win. You know, there was controversy about him and Sandor Martin, controversy about him and Gary Antoine Russell. And now look, no, actually, I think he really cleanly beat Gary Antoine Russell. This 119-109, that was pretty crazy. But in this case with Subriel Matias, you know, you can kind of see what different judges were looking at. And they're still not going to show the punch stats. You know what I missed when they used to show what fighters used to rehydrate as when they came into the ring? Because remember, at the weigh-in, Subriel was looking real sickly. And I was like, whoa, man, I don't know. You know, but here he is. He back. It's a shame that they're just going to dick Puello around like that. And he's not going to be able to get his rematch. That's kind of fucked up. You know, I'm guessing maybe him versus Richardson Hitchens, maybe. They can try to go that route. We don't know what Teofimo Lopez is doing, so I don't even want to talk about him. There's too much shit going on over there, but they're not showing the punch stats. So let me get up out of here. Oh, wait, let me go see if CompuBox have them. Hold on. Sometimes, for those who don't know, if you go to the CompuBox Twitter page, CompuBox, where you at, CompuBox? You'll be able to, they'll put the numbers up Let's see here. So, no, they don't have any numbers up from today. Only from last night, Katie Taylor fight. So they haven't got anything up for the card tonight. Damn. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Teach Street Controversy with 5U360.